Look. You're now tuning in to BS Talk. She came to keep it 100, not the BS show. So listen to Queen Key. She here with some free game. No he say, no she say, but maybe a replay of the news, giving views, and she dropping shoes. Maybe even a couple tools that you can use. Yeah, cause there's a lot we need to talk about. So we gon' kick it like we chillin' at the barbershop. BS Talk. BS Talk. BS Talk. This is BS Talk. Yeah. BS Talk. BS Talk. Yeah.
Jackson. Hello and welcome to Queen Key BS Talk. So today's show will be about the LGBTQ part 2. So today we're gonna get right back into it, ladies. So the first thing I want to discuss is that it's people in the community, and what they're doing is they're a man or a woman, and they're changing their gender. So a woman, then she want to change her private part to a penis and take her breast, or sometimes take their breasts off. And a man, they're changing theirs to, the other, a vagina. So I want to know what y'all ladies think about, the sex change. And we're going to get started with T-May commenting on it first.
Oh,
get straight to it.
Ooh, why I gotta go first? I'm gonna practice on how to be quiet. Lord, don't get me started first.
Who want to comment on?
I mean, what is it? Gender trans. Well, what is it called? What is the right way to say it? The political way.
The would they be called transgender?
Is that transgender? I don't know. I'm asking you.
There's different variants, transgender,
It's like different
transsexual
roles and stuff because
It's just sexual change.
a sex change.
Yeah, let's just say that. Let's go.
What is my feelings about that?
Yeah.
It's almost like it. Like I couldn't even like talk about it or say anything bad about it because I would never want to feel like that. But there's a lot of people that do feel like that and that have that fight. So, you don't judge or throw stones at people because, same thing you picking on will come right back on you, remember?
So basically,
it sounds like a tough fight.
Yeah, so the person that's doing it seems like it's tough on them to actually want to do something like that.
I think it's tough to live your whole life like that. It's not like, you just decide this year that you're going to do it. It's something that you have to feel like over your life, right?
How you feel about it, Roxy?
Hey y'all. Probably not gonna say the most popular opinion because I have friends that I don't know if they've gone all the way through with it, but they have started the journey, started the path. I have friends that started hormones, got really awesome, sexy boobs. But honestly, in my little brain, I kind of think it starts with the mental. Not saying that there's my mental is any different than theirs because I'm a trisexual woman. Because every day I look in the mirror, I see me, little chunky, little beautiful woman. And like, I guess to kind of piggyback, that would kind of be hard if I looked in the mirror and I hated these boobs. Because I, looked at documentaries and talked to people that have started the journey. And they literally say, I look in the mirror and I see if I was, a man inside. So that would have to be really tough. It's not a battle that I've gone through, but I do think that we should give a little bit more funding and attention to the mental illness of it, because that has to be tough to look in the mirror and in your brain and in your mind, you don't see what you physically are. And then you have to go through the societal norms of hiding it, being something that you're not, like sneaking, cross-dressing. And I've dated some men that live heterosexual lives that like to dress as women, wear women garments. So it's a lot of things. I guess that's another story. Yeah.
Like straight men that want to wear panties and stuff like that.
Lingerie.
Wow.
I
So it
kinda
is.
like it.
It is.
Is that
Oh
a fetish?
Lord Jesus.
Yes.
You say I kind of like it.
I like balls and lace.
Whoa.
I
Is that
mean,
a fetish?
I would assume the time it happened to me, it was a mistake. I came in, he had my thigh highs on and just a t-shirt and full commando, and I loved it.
Wow. I thought that was only in movies.
No,
Oh,
no,
snap.
it's real life. But like even with things like that, to be like, and you know, sometimes he wear when he buys me a set, he buys himself a set as well.
Mm.
So he be at work in uniform with panties on, and I'm sure he's not the only
Girl,
man.
looking like what the
But yeah, so even with that, as far as transsexual, transgender, cross dressing, all of that under that umbrella, it has to be tough to not be able to live your full truth. And I think more funding and more attention should be paid to the mental aspect of it.
I agree. How you feel, Stella?
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Like
What?
no,
You
no,
speechless?
I am, because I just have questions for Roxy.
Oh,
But like, I'm just speechless. But no, because I think like it goes back to what like T May says, like it's a struggle, it's mentally, and it's just to me.
I didn't understand.
oh, okay, Siri.
She does that.
Oh,
Okay.
what do you have to say, Siri?
I don't even talk to her. That's not serious.
Or who's that, Bixby?
You better know it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
That's the Android. Okay, but when I talk about the phone.
Yeah. I got an Android
What'd you
too.
say?
She does that.
Stella?
But no, like I just think that it is mental, but now my heart also goes out because okay, so just think about it. Think about like how, and I know some people are gonna say it's not the same comparison, but if you are overweight and you're like unhappy with yourself and you're like looking in that mirror and you keep imagining that same image of like I want to be smaller, I want to do this, like essentially it's almost to me, this is my personal opinion, it's similar struggle for someone who wants to be in a different body part.
Mm.
But like that's just how I look. That's just how I'm looking at it. Like Cher's son, when her daughter went and decided she wanted to become a guy, had to change, did everything, and like now she's regretting it.
Oh, I
But
didn't know
that-
she was right at Chaz Bomber. I didn't know she.
But that's the
I read
that,
an article.
that was the next thing. Like people are doing these sex changes and then they want to go back. Like so, I think it is a lot of the mental. So you know you're having these sex changes and then the feeling ain't or the thing don't work the way you thought it was gonna work. So now you see that it wasn't the change that was gonna make you feel good. To me, like it ain't the sex change that actually gonna make you a man.
I think you got more people. I mean, even though you have some people that want to change back, you have some people that don't want to go.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always like two sides to that. It seems like a scary fight. You know, everything is mental.
Mm-hmm.
Every decision and choice you make goes through your mind before you do it. You know, so ooh, we all got our crosses to bear. We just pick them up and go as we go.
So you
I'm
know
glad
you
I don't
had-
have to.
But in these situations, you know, you have young kids. Like you have a lot of young girls and boys these days that's wanting to change.
Dwayne Wade.
Yes, like they want to be the
Mm.
opposite also. Like they're so young. Like do you give these kids a choice at such a young age to want to be a boy or a girl? Like sex change? Like do you
Hey, you know we get sensitive about these children.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the kids because these are the
Yeah.
ones. These are the ones that's
Passionate.
Mhm.
like, do you give them a choice to make to do something that like that's like over like for a child to
But some people say it goes a little bit deeper than just like I don't hear people tell me how the doctor chooses your sex at birth. You know, like something with science. I don't understand, but some people have more knowledge about the sexuality or the sex choices that we have. I don't know what it is because it's it hasn't been an interest of mine, so I don't.
Oh,
delve
you're
into
talking
it.
about the Builder babies, what most like celebrities
Well,
are doing.
some
Builder
people say
babies.
that
oh you talking about
they assign your sex to you.
oh you talking about before the parent before the mom gets pregnant.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
So does that allow? Okay,
So like we are all born with like the same
both.
Yeah, both. And then at some point the doctor or somebody other than God, I guess, makes the decision for the sex.
I've heard that.
They gotta seriously
Now,
modify some chromosomes.
Well,
to do
I
that.
done heard that you can choose before, they
Get rid of one
split.
or the other if you're born with both.
Mhm.
Yeah, or say whether you want a girl or a boy, and they can put a girl in you or a boy in you. They can
Yeah, but
confirm. But the question is, for a
That
child
has to
that's already born and like 4 or 5 years old, they like, I don't want this, and they they don't want their private part. Do you allow them to make that choice at such a
No.
young age?
No.
No.
You know,
Let them live their life. If you have a boy and he like truly wants to live his life, like Dwayne Wade's daughter, for example, gonna use the proper.
Program.
Yeah, we're gonna use the right ones. His daughter, for example.
whose daughter?
His son.
Yeah, his son.
I mean, well, see, that's what I'm saying. I like to be politically correct, but I kind of, it's okay that they're allowing the child that was born genetically as a male to live its life as a girl. I do not agree with going under the knife at this time. I don't agree with going under the knife for anyone under the age of 18
Well,
or
they had a surgery?
no. What I'm saying is, I
No,
think
he just
it's
wanna be a
okay.
girl.
Yeah, I think it's okay that he's wearing a little makeup because, like, maybe one day he'll grow out of it. I don't know, but let him make that decision when he's old enough to understand what surgery can do, the aftermath, some counseling, like a whole round table. I'm just a little bit of everything. So, not my situation, not my child, but don't put him under the knife until
Let
they're
them
an
make that
adult.
choice.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question? And I'm just
Almost like a tattoo.
yeah. So I just have a question. Sorry. So why is it more acceptable for a girl to be a tomboy
Mm.
than for a young boy to want to dress up as a girl?
Because
And
I'm
they-
a tomboy.
No, I'm not asking about you. No, I'm not asking about you.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not asking about
Go
you.
ahead.
But I'm just asking, like, why is it like if
Society.
so why does society make it okay for a girl to be a tomboy? Because like she's a tomboy.
But she's a girl.
Well, I think that most girls have masculine ways and boys have feminine ways, but I think sometimes it can go overboard. So when you start talking about the dressing and doing other things, I think sometimes it go too far. I think sometimes you can get out of hand with the different. And I was gonna say, too, like when a boy to train up your kids, and let's say you want to train them the way that you feel like a boy should go. It's almost like if you wanted to go to school to be a barber, or you wanted to go to school to be a doctor, or you wanted to go to school to be a lawyer. It's like you have to go through these transactions. They train you to be these things. You don't already know. They give you certain skills and tools to use to actually be what you want to be. So when you finish, so it's like almost like with your child being in a house, you give them these certain tools, like as a boy and as a girl, you give them these certain things to go out and be a girl, be a young lady, or to go out and be a young man, and then whatever they decide to do after that, then that's their own thing. But you still don't deny them of giving them and leading them to being a boy or being a girl. They still gonna make that choice to be whoever they want to be, but you still give them the tools. How you feel about it, Cause you feel like
Yeah, I think it's gender association. Like, if you live in a household where mom gets up every day and she's going to work and dad's pretty much the one that's cooking, then you may have a young man that grows up and think that, so this is kind of what the men do. So it's gender association, not just with the roles in the house, but like who takes on the responsibilities, or even you ladies entering a barber field. How many people have probably walked in a barber shop, a girl, ooh, I don't want to cut my hair, because that's a male dominated field. So if you would have grown up and someone told you, girls don't cut hair, girls do hair,
Yeah.
but that would have deterred you, or like, no, if that was like,
it made me go harder.
well, see, if you're against the grain, not majority of the people would, they're like, well, you're right, I should just go to beauty school and I should do it. So it's with gender association. So that's why I think it starts with allowing the child to dress not like the gender that they were born with. I mean, they grow out of it sometimes. It's what I liked at 7. Gosh, I don't like it now. Like as far as like things in life, so you just kind of let them gotta go with it. I just don't know if I would let them go as far as going under the knife or things like that.
Would you let him dress up? Would you be okay with your child walking around the house in female clothes?
My son has and does and that's that rock and that's the thing too, because sometimes it's not even sexual. It's a form of expression. My son he shops for like really nice women jackets and take pictures in them. It's like that rock star. My son would paint his fingernails. His dad would ask me all the time, is he good? Like now he's extremely gothic. So you just let him like,
Okay, but see that's gothic. So like I can understand with that way. Like I can understand like with like the mohawk, and you see the guy with the black leather, and then he has on like the skirt, and then he even has pants on underneath the skirt.
My kid was wearing for real live ladies jackets, tying them up, buttons on the other side, like real live, and he just liked it. He like, oh, it looks good on me. I like the material, like the cut. And I sat back and I watched it. I was like, is this little guy going down that path? I'm like, let me just see. So sometimes they just try it. I mean, it's just a form of expression. It's not, we sometimes make a bigger deal. Same thing if a baby fall and we make a big deal, they cry. But if you say, oh my, get up, and you kind of, it's what you implant. Kids are blank pieces of paper.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's why it's important on what you instill in them. I don't feel like we have enough masculine men. I feel like
that's why they in prison.
huh?
They in prison.
The masculine ones.
They in prison.
I don't feel like we have enough men being involved into their children's life, and I feel like it's a lot of women that is allowing a lot of our young boys to do certain things that they shouldn't be, and they should be in, whether they in the household or playing a role on getting involved. Like I feel like more men need to be involved in these boys' lives and showing them how young men should be, or how they should, the way that they should go, the path that they should do. I mean, I don't feel like they're involved enough.
So are we asking our male viewers to step up if you have a child, a nephew, a friend of the family, and be more involved in that child's life? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like even if it's not their father, yes, I feel like more men in the community need to step up and be involved with the young boys that's out here. I don't feel like they have enough I don't feel like the young boys have enough men involvement in their life.
T-May just hit me on the back of the head. She wants to say something.
I think it goes beyond, the role model issue at this point. It's been a plan for a long time, the demasculization of the male, like it's hormonal.
And
it's
that's what one of the
things.
Yeah, I was going to answer that question.
Into it, you can't just be a good role model. You got to balance out their hormones. Like it's all kind of stuff that goes into it, and it's just not the role model situation, because that happened, back in like the 80s and 90s, where you didn't have kids growing up in a 2-parent home or anything like that, all the systematic stuff that led to, single mothers raising kids by themselves.
Yeah, so I feel like it's the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
A woman can't raise a young man.
I want to answer that question.
The son needs both.
Because I feel like that question was directed to me when I
Which
said
one?
about my child
I don't read
in
the
the
question.
Yeah, I want. The question is, where is my son's father? Is the father okay with my son walking around like a girl? He's not walking around like a girl. I have a full-grown, hardworking son that's the start of cryptocurrency, audio engineering bachelor's degree, college at 17. His father is fully involved, not just child support. I'm talking every step of the way. He's been on every school forum. He's been directly to every teacher's line, very involved in his life. To this day, we still co-parent on my son. He did not dress like a girl. He was comfortable expressing himself because I have a son that's into the art. So it goes back into, if I would have freaked out when my son came out in that girl coat, I just looked at him. I'm like, looks nice. They're going to think you're gay. You're like, I'm not. All right. Well, you have to know that that's what you're going to come up against, but you want to express yourself like that. Once again, the person that put the question, I just simply allowed my son to express himself in the art. He's fully heterosexual. And if today he did come home and say, I don't know if you tuned in last week, but his mom slept with girls. Who am I to judge? I mean, I'm just saying, but if he does, no. And as far as his father being involved, not only was his father involved, to piggyback off of the men not being in their life, get an entire group of men. I never even dated a man that wasn't going to be 100% man, not a father to my son, but a man, an example, a role model. I have brothers, I have cousins, I have best friends.
So you
I
have to
have
do
male. You have to. I have the male business. I don't know anything about this whole little weird thing with a penis. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm raising one. So, and to the second question, a woman cannot raise a man, but she can nurture a young man. We're not trying to turn young men into men. We do not know anything about you guys. Y'all don't know nothing about us.
I know 3 men was raised by a woman.
No, but what I'm saying is like we
Okay.
can't teach
No,
them
I'm
to
just
be a
saying,
man. Like
you
I'm
can't
not
teach
like
him to be a man,
you
but you
just
can raise
nurture him.
him.
You can. You
Yeah.
can just nurture and love him. My son is excellent to women when he's dating them. He's caring, he's listening, he's compassionate, he has empathy because I taught him that. And he also learned how to be a hard worker, dedicated man, provider from his father because he had a village and a very involved father.
So I
Shout
hear
out to
you.
my baby daddy.
So I hear you talk about the village. Do you feel like the village has changed? Like, so when I was growing up,
Yes.
so when I was growing up, the village wouldn't let a young man go out here. Like, you had to hide it.
You
I
create
mean,
your village.
we're around the same age.
The village
So,
people, YMCA,
huh?
they stole it, huh?
So when I was growing up,
Village nowadays.
yeah. So basically, a boy would have to pretty much hide. You know, if he wanted to be gay, you couldn't just go out here and just be open. Like you couldn't put on a girl
So
jacket
it's
or a girl shoe or girl shoes. Like you couldn't do that. Like
And that's why
basically,
we got hate crimes. That's why you got people being raped. That's why the STD and the HIV rate was so high, not because of people that was gay, but because they were hiding it. They were having unprotected sex in horrible places, dirty places. They were sneaking and doing it. That's why the drugs became high because they're using drugs. Yeah, down low brothers.
so you feel like it was. So you feel like it was worse then than now.
Absolutely, because it was under the covers. Absolutely.
You
Bro,
still,
that
you know,
matter.
I think, yeah, I think it's worse now. I think it's like so open. I
It's more
think
influential now. It's too open now. There has to be a fit. You got to straddle the fence. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Too little. So back then, when it was too hidden, that was not good. So then now it's too open. So we just got to find a balance. You got to find a balance in a home. Find a balance in sexuality. Life is just balance.
so. You saying that you think it's better for it to be open?
Gotta be. We gotta talk about
So
it.
do you not think that kind of like take away from the child even making a choice?
No.
When you have it so open, do you not feel like your child watching a cartoon with every 2 girls kissing or 2 men kissing, your child coming up seeing 2 men or 2 women walking and kissing it, like that openness, because now they're thinking that it's okay. Do it give them a chance to even?
It's a teaching moment. My son, and I'm saying it because my son was raised in a salon, whole salon business. All women, gay men, they come in and getting their hair done. My son would look at me. I was a very forward parent. Mommy, why is that guy getting his hair done? Well, son, that is a gentleman that has an eccentric lifestyle. And once you're older, I'll tell you more about it. You teach them age appropriate things that they can mentally handle. Just give them a little bit. So if he asked me that same question at 13, I would say, well, son, that is a man that he's in love with men. And sometimes 2 men fall in love. He asked me that at 16, son, that is 2 men that have sexual intercourse with one another because that is their sexual pleasure. And they choose to wear wigs and makeup. You teach them, it's a teaching moment at the age that they can handle it.
Well,
Yeah.
some things are so, because of the brain, the mental of us continuing to keep saying something. I don't even have to want. I can say I don't want this chocolate cake, and it keeps showing it on TV, and it keeps showing it. I don't want to eat that. I don't want that, but it keeps flashing in my face. I keep saying it. Eventually, I'm gonna want to eat that cake. Like some things are so. It's so like it just.
is not the result of HIV and other diseases that came from individuals.
That's what I said.
Listen,
That's what I
listen.
said.
Yeah, you did.
That's what I said. I didn't
But
say
it's just
that.
like anything else. If it's put in your face enough, then you get it in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Then it becomes a desire, or maybe even a want, or you want to be curious about it. You know. So like, yeah, you have to see it for you to know what it is. But back to what she said, how you break it down and age appropriate steps. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna see it regardless. It's all over the place. Whether it's we're talking about homosexuality now, but malt liquor, cigarettes, like that's what they do out here. They advertise and they influence. Nobody
Yes.
comes up with no original thought or ideal. And once one person do it, then everybody else do it.
But that's the thing. Like I didn't see it. I didn't see it like that.
But see,
When
that's
I
because
was growing
your
up, I didn't
lifestyle,
see it.
you have awesome parents that taught you that I'm gonna love, I'm gonna shelter, I'm gonna protect, put in this love bubble. So you came from a love bubble,
Yeah,
or
but,
maybe a religious bubble.
but it-
Like people come
but it
from
wasn't
different
on TV. It
backgrounds.
wasn't on TV the way that it. I
Well,
mean, it's on your phones. It's on TV. It's when you walk. I mean, everywhere you go. I mean, even in commercials.
It's
like
marketing.
you can't
They
get past. It's
selling
like
it to
every
you.
time.
Because
Yeah,
they don't,
because
because
they're not giving them a chance.
well, I don't think it's about not giving them a chance. I think it's about how you got to try to like find that balance. And what I mean by that is this product wants to make sure that they are open to everybody. And know what I mean by that. So like, let's take a pair of jeans, for example. And let's say that the store brand is called T-Made Cuz Jeans. Okay?
We have to change that name.
Anyway, that's the name of my jean company. And it's in my analogy. But anyway, so you want to make sure that you're gonna get revenue from the LGBTQ. You want to make sure you're gonna get revenue from the heteros, the same sex, people who like sex and
Especially when it becomes the majority of the population.
yeah.
They
So-
got a whole month. You go in the store, you can see pride stuff
Yeah.
everywhere. For
They
a
just
whole
passed
month.
some laws like
June,
2
like
days
Christmas.
ago on it, like for schools.
So
Like,
it's
but
really influenced by
almost
the
like
people who sell things to you.
well,
That's
it's
what
like
you're
the
saying?
higher. I feel like the higher up is like
Okay.
got a lot to do with, and I think it's more geared towards us because I don't see none of your Tom Brady's or none of your Rogers. I see a whole bunch of the
They
black.
are there.
I see a whole
Every
bunch.
time you
I
see
see a whole
black
bunch.
man on
Of,
TV,
I
though,
see a whole
it has
bunch
to
of.
be
I see a whole bunch of the
something.
black celebrities like with the purses and with the when it comes down to our basket, the stuff that
That's the
us
stuff
black
that they
boys
show
are.
you.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
point.
no, Roger is wearing the lace panties at work.
Who?
Roger, the Rogers.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, yeah, the
The
Tom
football-
Brady's, they're wearing my lace panties at work. They're asking to be pegged.
They're not. They're
no,
not.
what I'm saying is
No, I'm
they're-
saying it's not being advertised to their children. It's not being advertised to other people's kids. Like when you see a black man with a purse or with girl clothes on, and it's a black man and he's playing basketball, he got
They don't even
millions,
show
and he
Caitlyn
has,
Jenner that much on TV.
and he had, yeah, they're not gonna show the
Almost
other.
kinda like they don't show a white man dead on TV, but they'll show a black man dead on TV.
So
But
it's
that's-
like-
Law and Order will show both races. Law and Order will. So sorry to cut y'all off, but I have a question about something that you was talking about. I just want to like think about this. Military, don't ask, don't tell. In a generally like a military household, that's very strict. Like we're not going outside the bubble. But like the military, before anything came about, they had that don't ask, don't tell, because there were men in there being intimate with other men.
Mhm.
And then
Everywhere.
generally, when you think about it, if you think about the household structure, you have the son who is the father, and you have the son, his father is like a high rank, and you got the mom who's like Betty Sue at home cooking and doing everything.
Mhm.
He doesn't see that men doing stuff with men, but yet when he's has the desire, and when he gets into the military, he's letting it all out. And if you think about some of these military guys and girls, mostly guys, where is it coming from? If you have some of these people that are generational military families, where is it coming from? Because I got mom and dad. I know, but what I'm saying is you got mom. No, because what I'm getting back to is in this particular household, you don't see it. If you don't see it,
Well, you're going to see it now because it's put out so much, so it's not. You can't get away from it. That's the way that they have it now. But like before, it was almost like you had to go find it. If you wanted to see it, it was like you had to go find it because it was like, oh, that's so bad. So I mean, you didn't have that like in our generation. Like it wasn't just out there. Now everybody want to try. I mean, you have a little small percentage of people that just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going that route. But but for the most cases, it's like when you're so young, why do you have to put it in cartoons, or why do you have to put it in these little? kid shows.
Is it in cartoons? I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I don't watch
The
TV.
Teletubbies was gay, right?
See, that's see,
Right, but they're making it clear, like,
we live in
Barney
a
should've been
very
gay.
trendy. We live in a very trending society. Everything is they want it instantly, and it's trending. And answer this question and then piggyback off what we were talking about. Sneaking and hiding is nor the result of HIV and other diseases. That came from individuals not being responsible. You're absolutely right, and I do appreciate you reiterating exactly what I said. I never stated that because people were gay, that's how HIV and diseases were rise. What I said is the numbers were increased because they were doing it in secrecy. And when you're doing these things in secrecy, the numbers are to be higher because we're doing it in dirtier places. We now have to do drugs because we're hiding the secret. There's so many other factors that come into it. I would never sit on any public platform and say a gay or a person that likes the same sex has introduced HIV. That has to be the most. Come on, viewer. You kind of sort of got to know I'm a little bit more intelligent than that. It did not come from that. So I thank you so much for reiterating that for me in writing because it's cute. Thanks a million. So
Moving on.
Yeah. So the next question is, how do y'all feel about like two men raising a child or two women raising a child? How do y'all feel about that? T-Mac?
As long as somebody raises them.
Huh?
As long as somebody taking care of the kids.
So you feel like long as they've been taken care
Yeah,
of?
I don't think it's like, to me, I don't think sex or sexuality is such a big influence in who a person is, you know, and love, you know, like they can take care of kids, you know. I don't think it's gonna have an impact on their child's decision making on their own sexuality.
I think it's fine. If you're raised in a household with love, it's just, once again, it's a teaching moment. I have a friend that was raised with two moms. You just have to explain to the child, hey, you have two moms. And when they're age appropriate, you have two moms that kind of fell in love with each other and get raised right. You still have to let them know that heterosexual households exist. Just how as I raised my son in a trisexual household, I wasn't busting females open for my kid to walk in there. I raised him in a normal heterosexual household when he was age appropriate enough to know mom indulges. But and my sex life is not in his face. He's a child. You cannot comprehend that. But who I love and how we raise you and the values we instill in you, two guys can do it, two women can do it, a single mother can do it, a single father can do it, a grandmother can do it. So the same way, it's different households and kids come from that same love, but you still have to let them know other households exist. It's all a teaching moment for me.
I'm a devil's advocate.
Go for it.
No, this is what I'm saying. What is the difference between two women who are in love with each other raising a child and a mom and a daughter raising a child? And what I mean by that is if I grew up where I live with my mother and her mother, so I live with my mom and my grandmother. Those are two women raising me. What is the difference between my mother and my grandmother raising me versus me raising my kids with a woman that I'm in love with?
Or my daddy and my uncle raising me.
Yeah, it's like, what is the difference? And
Okay.
because it comes right back to, and there is
That's a nice question.
Well, it's a difference.
no, I know, but like, and that,
So let me ask y'all ladies, because y'all all said that. So do you feel like a child growing up in a household needs a man and a woman? Like, do that child needs to see a man and a woman? Do they need both? Do you feel like they need both?
No.
Like, you don't?
no, I feel, sorry for cutting you off. This is what I feel. I feel that a child needs to see love and compassion and understanding. And I feel that a child needs to see mommy's not feeling good and mommy's partner stepping up to the table. I feel like it's Valentine's Day. That child needs to see, okay, I'm supposed to, if they're a guy, I'm supposed to bring my lady friend roses and stuff on Valentine's Day. I'm supposed to acknowledge her. I'm supposed to open the door. And I have a friend who is married. Her husband has not done the skills that we're basically saying, oh, this is required in a man and a woman household. Her husband has never sat there and said, "Hey guys, it's Valentine's Day. Let's get mommy something for Valentine's Day. Let's get mommy something for her birthday. Let's get mommy something for Mother's Day." She basically told me how when she and her son was going out, she had to tell her son, "Come back. You open the door for me," because her son was like just walking straight through the door. So, and I'm sitting here and I'm asking, like, in some households, yes, like maybe in your household, maybe your kids see what your husband opening the door, closing the door, and treating you like a lady. And but then sometimes we put such a big word on a man and a woman needs to be together for that to be the proper household. But sometimes a man and a woman being together, that is not the equation for a proper household.
So what does it take properly to make a baby? So does it take a man and a woman to actually make one?
Well, the Bible
So
says
it take a man
Not
and
anymore.
so it take a man and a woman. Oh wait, you
Wait,
need
it
both.
does.
Every time
Sperm
they
and
come in
egg.
here,
So
Sperm
basically,
and
you
egg.
still need that male to actually make. You still need something from that
one
male
thing
to
for
make
sure,
it.
you need that woman, okay?
And you need the man. You got
Sure.
and one thing for sure, you need the man. You need a sperm. You can't take sperm from a woman and put it in a woman. You can't do
You
it.
can't make the egg without a woman.
There you go.
period.
So we can agree that you
Scientifically,
need.
you need
So
that.
so we need both.
Scientifically.
So we need both.
But-
So
Didn't Mary have a baby?
we need it.
Oh,
Without a
Hey, who's
man.
here to prove that it wasn't a man involved?
It wasn't a man.
Who-
If we're going off the word,
Hey, well, come on now.
Let's stray away from the word because
Now, let's get-
I mean, for y'all, but look, I'm just saying.
So one of the
it's
things
been
is that
documented.
so one thing that
gonna
she
say
was
what I
saying,
was gonna say.
one thing that Cassetta was saying is that her and her mom and her grandma raised her. So sometimes as kids growing up, they lack certain things. So when you don't have, I'm not saying that it actually has to be the biological father, but these boys are missing that man. And when the men are raising boys and you don't allow a woman to come in, those kids are missing that mother. So we all need both. So you got to get it from somewhere. So whether two women are raising the kids or two men are raising the kids, you have to involve the other. So our young men are missing out on a lot of the father. I don't care if it's a single mom.
and young ladies.
Yes,
I think
it,
it's
the
the
women,
parents' fault.
the young girl, the young boy, they both need the man. They both need the woman because the young girl needs to know how a young man should treat her by the guidance of a father. The young boy need to know how to treat a woman by the guidance of the father. So somebody needs to be instilling this in them. They're missing.
Can you tag her in because I want to get tagged in?
Screw you.
Can you tag her in?
I mix. No, okay. Going piggybacking off of it's the parents' fault. It's the tone you set. If you have a mother and a grandmother raising a young lady, then she is still supposed to have an uncle or a brother or big sisters or big brothers program or mentor. You got to put people in her life so she can still see that, hey, this is how gentlemen should treat a young lady. This is how men shave. Oh,
Yes.
men do this because you just don't know if you don't know. And I'm sorry for your lovely friend that's teaching her son that he has to open the door because she married a man that she's not providing a proper example for. So it starts with the parents because if she was married to a man that was loving on her properly, her kids would see that proper foundation. And another thing to piggyback off, the thing that is different
And the
with
man
the
is in her
grandma,
household.
huh?
And the man is in her household.
Yes.
My friend's household. I just want to.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That her son don't see dad come home, mom's cramping, he got her cute little period
Mhm.
pack. That's heartbreaking. He does not see a man nurturing his mother, and that's her fault. That is her fault. Because as the man she chose to marry, an example, she provided for her children. Just because that's your husband or your baby's dad, if it's not proper for you in your life, remove that
Okay,
cancer.
so
Wait,
we're
no.
not gonna say she's horrible because we don't. But
I didn't say horrible. I say that was
for
the
kids that are
wait.
born into a situation that has nothing to do with sexuality at all.
Wait, hold on. Let
But
me
they don't
finish
have
this.
two parents.
Hold on, and I was just about, that's when you put people in their life, mentors, big brother. You
Yes.
find people with positive attributes, and you're like, I like that. do you mind showing this example? You know how many men that came to my home and helped my son learn how to tie a tie? Things I didn't know.
Yes.
When he was getting a beard, I didn't know when to brush his beard, and his dad was still there, but we lived states apart. So the day-to-day things, I found men to say, hey, what's that beard oil you're using? I'm gonna try it on my son. I just asked and I learned. And the difference with a mom and a grandma raising a child, as well as two women, is something that should happen in heterosexual homes as well. Ain't no ninja walking up, Frenching me down and my son. Ain't no doors closed. So if I was in that room with a woman or a man, my child can still come sit on the edge of my bed, watch a movie with us, but he's gonna see my partner nurturing me, loving me. You fall, you hurt. That's humanity. So a child can be raised in any household with anyone. Single mom, single dad, two moms, two dads, crackhead mom, drunk dad, sober mom.
As long
Whatever.
as what?
Is they're being nurtured, loved on, and they got the proper examples of what they need in their life. A mentor, a team,
So you-
a counselor.
So basically, you still need to bring in the other.
It's
So
a
if it's
village.
so if it's two men, you still need to bring in that woman. If it's two women, you still need to bring in the men. That child still needs to see that womanly figure or that manly figure. They still need it in their life.
I think most kids that are in like those type of homes do have those options, you know, they have family support, they have, you know, somebody from the other sex somewhere around, you know.
Okay, can I just say something? Because I've really been working on trying not to, but it just. Okay, this is not about gay though. Brenda's got a baby by Tupac.
Okay.
Oh yes.
And I'm just want to. This is what I just want to sit here and say about Brenda's got a baby Tupac last month, but last day of Black History Month. But I just want to like show you how in this song she had a mom and a dad, and they were not there. And look what happened to Brenda. Brenda was
She had a baby.
yeah, but look who the baby was though. And look what happened to the baby. So I'm sitting. It comes back to what I'm trying to come back to. And what I'm trying to say is that if we look at this song that is, I believe, over 20 years, if not more longer, this young lady basically had a mama. 40. This young lady had a mama. She had a dad, and she was being sexed by the cousin's boyfriend, who was sexing her like crazy. Then on top of that, the mom, she said, "You're making me lose time at work." And Brenda, and they was like, "Let's show you how it affects the community." What I'm trying to get to and say is, in this song, Brenda has a mother and a father.
Okay.
And Brenda is still being treated and done everything wrong. So when I'm coming back to why are we putting such a big thing on, we have to have a heterosexual relationship in order to make these kids to be the best.
No, you should
I got a
involve.
question.
No, you should involve the opposite. So,
Okay.
so whether you're a single mom, you still should allow your baby daddy, especially if he's a good one. You allow him to be in your child's life, whether it's a girl, whether it's a boy. You allow that to come in. A lot of people are missing out on the opposite sex. A lot of boys are missing out on their father. A lot of girls are missing out on their father or their mother. So some are missing out on the other because you're not allowing it to be in.
Back to the Brenda got a baby thing before I forget about it. I'm trying to be quiet. But listen, when you talk about marketing and the influence of sexuality, do you know what the influence of Brenda had a baby had on the culture?
Was it the crack?
Women didn't have babies. They stopped having babies. And now, 40 years later, you got women having babies at 40. It was like, don't have a baby.
Yeah.
So, like, everything has a ripple effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you don't even see it. So, that's how the kids are being influenced, too, by the homosexuality stuff. Because it's not Brenda had a baby now. It's like girls singing songs about girls and stuff like that.
I
you
kissed
know?
the girl.
So, it's going to have an effect on them. But you can't control everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop everything. Like, some point, even as a parent, you got to realize that you're not God. You know, like you gotta let some things be in somebody else's hands other than yours. And I think sexuality is a hard damn fight to fight, you know?
So what do you feel about like if when you have a relationship but you don't want to tell your kids, so you tell your child this is mom's special friend. Like how do you
They've
how
been
do you
doing that
feel?
for
How do
years.
I never said special friend.
What do you call them?
So
The uncle?
No.
do you lie to the child or you just tell them exactly what you're doing?
No. So here's the thing with me. I'm a very social butterfly. I never said this is mommy's special friend. This is mommy's friend. I never said Like I remember the first time Morgan saw me with a girl, and I was trying to get her to my bedroom so Morgan didn't see her, and Morgan stopped me and was like, and I was like, that's my friend.
So you left it for her to figure out.
Yes, I left because
How old was she?
she was in high school.
Oh, she knew exactly what you.
Well, I mean, it's like no, and she may had, but at that time, as many women as I had been with, I wasn't ready to come out and tell my kids like this is what mommy's doing, and like I didn't want to do it because like I had a friend who I've known years ago, and she stated that she didn't want her child to be perceived a different way. She didn't know how her child was going to take it. She didn't want her kid to be bullied or picked on. So she kept it hidden.
But don't. So do you hide men too?
I do.
Yeah. So
I hide everybody.
what is privacy?
Don't hide them. You just introduce them to your child when it's time appropriate. My rule is I have to know that he, even with a man or woman, like, are you, first of all, my kid is precious. So are you decent enough to meet my child? So I keep my dating life separate from my son. Now, when me and a guy are getting serious, like, okay, now it's time for you to introduce my son. And now you have to build your relationship with him as well. And people don't consider the truth. They kind of just throw things in their face and no thought to you. They hide it from them. Too much of anything is not good, too little. So you got to find that balance, age appropriate. Like now, younger, yeah, this is mommy's best friend. You don't want them to know. But high school, I mean,
I just felt like, so here's the thing for me, and it's just because of me growing up. I remember my mom having her guy friend, and I remember sitting in our apartment, and I remember my dad coming in the front door and me sitting right in the middle of the living room. My daddy's coming in the front door. My mom's friend guy is leaving out the back door, and they basically the doors shut at the sign
she
change.
still going with your dad.
She was, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
I like
But what I'm trying to say with that, what I'm trying to say is, I personally don't believe in my kids meeting anybody. My child's father, he's watching the thing. He didn't meet my daughter, my oldest, until we were 7 years in.
That's good. That's healthy compared to these women that's moving a man in 2-3 months and all the crap that's happening. I think don't wait too long. All the crap that's happening, like the killing, the molestations, the beatings, the murders, all that stuff. So I think too much is too little, too enough is
Hold
not
on.
enough.
So someone says every boy needs a father or a male figure in their life on a consistent basis. They need someone to look up to, and idol to be like who have the same hormones as they do. All kids idol someone. Okay, so I have a question about that.
That's what we agree.
And we agree about that. But then we agree about that. But if you've ever read the book, The Download Guide, he talks about how these kids had idols and they had role models, they had big brothers that was taking these young boys on these field trips, these overnight trips, and it was having intimacy with them. And we're basically trusting our kids to the big brother. So, and what I'm saying about this is like we always want to run back and say, okay, well, my kid needs this role model, my kid needs that role model. Why can it not sometimes be that maybe the parent, that one parent, that mom, or maybe that, and I know you're shaking your head, no, but y'all, there are so many people who molest kids.
I think we agree they need good
Positive.
We're not saying that you need any type of man in your life, but a woman can't do it.
But we can't
What I'm
determine who's positive.
Yeah,
No, we can't.
I mean, you gotta kind of feel. A lot of times, you second guess.
Controlled. I mean,
It's
like
the
you
control.
wouldn't
Yeah,
have
and you
like
a lot of times you can feel when that energy.
But
you
I
can
have
feel
bad people on my team too. My one bro, and then there's another thing too. My round table is not all these angels. No, I got a lying, cheating, drug dealing, bro, womanizer. I got those people on my team as well, so I can say, let's see what happened in his life and where they went wrong so I can avoid that path. I don't just have all positive people. I have a round table of men, all type of men. Good men, bad men, lazy men, men that sit home play the video game all day. And like I say, I just pick what's good from each one of those or what I don't want to instill in my son. And I just use it. Just pick the ingredients and make my own cake.
I'm
Okay,
biased.
so
No, it's okay.
we're gonna get ready to close out, and I'm gonna let each one of y'all give a closing statement to our viewers, at least two like a 2 minute or shorter, to close out on.
I'll be
Just
last.
let me know how you feel.
Can you go
I'll
first?
I'll be last. I mean, yeah, you be last.
You have to talk to your child, tell him or her who to trust and what to look out for. Absolutely. And you pick people in your life that you trust, and you also let them know, I'll kill you because I love my child. Not just men, do that to women as well, because you got some R. Shelleys out here as well. Absolutely right.
Mhm.
People are always so busy protecting the little girls, but you got to watch your boys and your girls. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. I like the comments. We like the comments.
Yes. So for closing out, we're gonna let Cassetta go first. We'll go this way. Just give a closeout statement on how you feel about the whole situation and
This is so easy for me. If your child, cousin, sister, brother, whoever decides to come and say, hey, I might like the same person as me, please do not tell that child that they're going through something and they're weird. Accept it, embrace it, and just be like, okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think with the whole two-part episode we did on the community as far as influencing children and everyone, it starts at the core, it starts at the root, it starts with the people you put around you, who loves on you, who nurture you. Every adult was once a child that needed to be nurtured. Some, it's like plants, some were watered, some were overwatered, some were underwatered. So you want to look at your child, yourself as a plant. You want to nurture yourself properly. And every plant does not need the same ingredients. Some plants can have two moms taking care of it. Some plants can have a single mom. Some plants can be in a religious bubble. My bottom line, guys, it starts with the root. It starts with the heart. And continue to keep a village around you. And your village will change over time.
They need to be nurtured by having water.
Yeah, water.
gotta have that wall.
Gotta have that
You
water.
gotta nurture that plant.
And don't condemn your child to hell just because they're going through okay, because you gotta count your own. People kill them, tell me where somebody else going and they ain't never been there.
Who can count those cast the first stone?
Can't nobody tell me
How you
nothing.
feel, teammate?
Where intentions goes, energy flows.
Oh, I like it.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Where intentions go, energy flows. So if you
Yeah.
focus on that, then that's what it's going to be. You create it. We're responsible for everything that walks in our life.
Mhm.
Yes. That is so true. I would like to thank each and every last one of you ladies for coming to part 2. And in my closing statement, I would like to say just because someone doesn't agree with their child being gay or someone being gay, it doesn't mean that they don't love you. They just don't
It does.
agree. It just means that they don't agree. It's just like saying, don't bring that weed. You can't smoke in my house. I don't want you to drink in my house. You can still be gay. It's just you can't wear that wig in my house. You can't wear those heels in my house. You have to respect. So regardless of what you are, it's called respect. When somebody don't want you to do certain things in a house, it doesn't have to change who you are. It just means if I say I don't want you as a man to wear their wig or have them high heels on around my son, and you're my friend, and I just don't want you doing those things around my son because I feel like it influences him, then you have to respect that. I'm not telling you not to be gay. I'm not telling you not to love who you love. I'm just saying have some respect. So it doesn't mean that we don't love you if we don't accept as far as you coming into our homes and around our children and looking a certain way on the outside doesn't mean it has to change how you are on the inside.
But everybody else in the world accepts them.
I agree.
Well, I'm on my opinion
With this discussion, it needs to be men on this panel.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. Any man chime in, we would love. Aw.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. We would love to have a male's opinion, like
So-
honestly.
We'll get some men on here. I guess we'll have both. One time. We'll have both and see how they feel about it too.
I don't want to talk about the kids.
Well, that's the only way adults grow up is to be
I
who
know,
they
but
are,
you
because
like-
a lot of times it starts as
People
a
get
child.
emotional about their kids,
Oh, they do.
and I don't even have that experience to
Hey.
even say anything. I'm just the outsider.
People
looking
get
in.
emotional because
you
they
wanna
want
adopt
something
me?
about them.
You
Like
want to adopt me?
No, I'm adopting a little white boy.
Oh,
name
well,
him Connor.
I thought maybe Jamal.
Connor Jamal?
No.
Jamal.
Okay. So we'll be back. We'll finish up this discussion with some man.
Yeah.
So thank y'all, and remember, stand for something or you will fall for anything.
Yes.
Thanks.
Good night, y'all.
Gators.